Good afternoon, family, friends, social media. Welcome to the Empowerment Exchange again. I'm Sheila.
And I'm Clayton. And today we're going to dive into a topic that it hit very hard, especially in our community. We're going to talk about Louisiana and why it's important for you to understand it. The real cost of incarceration in Louisiana and how low income families are paying the price.
This is this is a topic that everybody needs to listen to. It's extremely, what I say is appalling to me. Louisiana has one of the largest prison populations in the entire country. And the statistics, a lot of people don't know this, but the taxpayers, listen, it's the taxpayers, especially the low income taxpayers,
Wow.
are spending over $1 billion to keep that system running.
I mean, $1 billion system.
$1 billion.
I mean, that's a lot of money. I mean, let's start Sheila with the numbers. Louisiana spent over 1.2 billion every single year of incarceration. Think about that.
That's ridiculous.
That includes state prison, parish jails, and youth facilities. And I'm telling you, Sheila, I live down here. I've never seen as much going on today than I've seen ever in my life. Louisiana, and I'm glad we talk about Louisiana. Louisiana is one of the most notorious states, just like you say, out of the whole 50 states. And we're gonna get into that.
So it's more to it than the numbers, what I believe, Clayton, but we'll talk about that later. But let's get the data out there now. And 700 million comes straight from the state general fund.
Wow.
Gosh.
700 million.
General fund is funding all of this, meaning your tax dollars, our tax dollars, and the community tax dollars are paying for all of this. The prison system.
See, Sheila, a lot of us is uneducated, so we really don't know how the system actually works. And here's the kicker, Sheila. Louisiana locked people up at nearly twice the national average. Twice as the national average. That means we're paying more because we are incarcerating more. And who's paying the price for it? Just like I say, low income families. And people, while we want you to share this information, make comments, talk to your children about what's going down in Louisiana. Because still, this is new information for a lot of people. Yeah. They don't understand that Louisiana is notorious.
It's when I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And why is the state, Clayton, if it's part of the state general fund, why are they investing in punishment, putting people in prison instead of preventing people from going? So that tells me people are sent to prison for little or nothing.
That's true.
The state is being funded, and the taxpayer are paying for the state funds.
You know what? This is going to be new to a lot of people. They don't know how it's been funded by the taxpayers. And the poor people, the poor family members are really going to be paying. And now, Sheila, and this is where it get real to us. When we really stop and think, because Louisiana relies heavily on sales taxes, which hit low-income families the hardest.
What is the sales tax there?
Well, they talk about sales tax on damn near everything they put out there.
8%, 9%?
No, depends on what part of Louisiana. No, it's 8%.
That's very high.
Yeah, it is very high.
So that money is going to, oh Lord, I don't even want to go there. But
no, we got to go there because people need to be aware.
So every time somebody goes to prison, your taxes are going towards that person.
Yep.
I mean, if I understand it clearly, your state has a general fund which operates with part of the money is, for example, Delaware, we had a lottery. So some of the money goes to the lottery to fund for things. But y'all taxpayers' monies are going for the prisons.
Sheila, if you understand the alarming rate every day, young black kids, they being stopped and being abused, abusive. And the thing is that once they being labeled, they set up a database. Anytime something come up, you in trouble. So we're gonna look at you first. And people need to be aware. Once you go into the Louisiana prison system, they call it the lock and key. I'm gonna lock your ass up and I'm gonna throw away the key. And again, like I say, it hit low income families the hardest.
And if you know that, why would want you prevent people from going to prison? But that's my question. But the state spends over $100 billion, over $1 billion on prisons, and the money don't come from the wealthy. It comes from families down there who are already struggling in neighborhoods that are over policed. So over policed, under resourced, and overlooked. So yeah, the poor, low income families are feeding into this big prison system.
But these low income people don't know that. They're not educated to understand is that how are they funding these prison systems?
Part of the taxes every time they buy something is going towards it, the general state fund. So the general state fund gives a certain percent to the prison.
So look, real talk, Sheila. I'm glad that we, for you all out there listening, especially for you all that lives in Louisiana. If you don't know, you should know now. Where they're building more prisons, they're building like these parish jails. This is who paying for it? You paying for it.
Can you explain to me what parish jail means?
Well, see, Louisiana is broken down into parish. They got Tansville Parish, you got St. Pauline Parish. These are Louisiana have parishes. So that's
it's kind of like divided into
different
counties or something.
Yeah, different zones.
Okay.
And like I say, Sheila, when you're saying that the state spent over $1 billion on prison, that's a lot of damn money. And that money doesn't come from the wealthy, it comes from the poor.
Because the poorest are the ones that's going to jail.
Exactly. The rich going to get richer and the poor is going to get poorer. So the same community that are mostly impacted by incarceration. We already know that. Also, the one that funds the system through their taxes. And I'm going to say that my black brothers and sisters, or whatever minority group you are, Louisiana has its own laws. We know Louisiana is one of the most racist states. Look how many 65% of incarceration is black men. People don't realize your taxpayers are paying for this. They don't realize that, Sheila. I mean, that's real talk.
Yeah, it's a painful truth, though. I mean, you look at it, realistically, low income families are paying twice, because once through taxes, and then again, they're paying through the loss of their fathers, their sons, their mothers, their providers to the prison system. So you're getting double dose.
But we don't know that, Sheila. I mean, I'm glad that we are bringing this forward. And for me,
doesn't it cost to get out of prison?
Oh yes. You know the funny thing about it? In order to get out, you got to still pay so much money.
That's the the taxes?
Yes.
Or what?
No, you got to get this money back to the state. If you get out and you get a job, that means that if you get a job, you still owe the state money. So you got to pay so much more money.
Is that money going to the state general fund?
You would think it would be, because Louisiana is so crooked. You never know where that money going to. So, it might be going to some type of affiliation group that is racist group. You never know.
$1 billion is a lot of money. So I would track you would trail the money. Where is this money going to that you're still paying for once somebody get out of prison?
Yeah, well, Sheila, since we're in the subject, let's talk about the cycle. because this isn't accidental, it is structural, how the system is designed to do exactly what it's actually does. When I say it is structural, and I hope you understand what I mean by that.
Yeah, it's straightforward.
Yes,
You
it's
know,
straightforward.
it's solid. You know,
Mhm.
this is what they do. So when you, for example, when you remove the wage earners, the people making the money or working every day from the community, you create instability. But
Instability.
depends on, you know, if you got a job, you still moving, and you go to prison, you still being removed from the system. But when you add, Clayton, the court fines, the fees, the bail costs,
Yep, yep.
create debt. Okay, right? You create debt. You still owe. So when you underfund schools and mental health services, you create vulnerability.
Now
So
that, wow, uh, for you all out there that's listening, I hope that you are processing, and we trying to give you an example of the cost that you have to pay every time these black kids are being incarcerated. Or another thing is too, Sheila, and we're gonna get into it later.
but
I don't
did
know
you
if you,
understand what I just said? If people
Mhm.
did they process that?
I don't think sometimes I think you got
Okay.
to say it again.
When you add the court fines, fees, and bailing costs, you create
Hmm.
debt, right?
Create death, exactly.
Okay, so when they underfund the schools and the mental health services, I'm talking about the states, you create vulnerability. So that's a way to get you back into the system.
You're
I mean,
right.
it's a strategy, Clayton.
It
It's,
is.
so they underfund the schools. People don't want to go to school. They gonna get in trouble. Okay, I got that person.
Yeah.
I got a number on that person head. Okay, they're gonna be going to prison soon. They drop
You,
out.
you're
Whatever.
right. You-
So they count on all that. It sounds like to me, in this your general state fund, you know, because that money taxpayers need to know what they're paying for.
They need to know they're paying for it, but I'm saying to this, Sheila, I'm going to say it. When I tell you, well, I'm quite sure you've heard the prison called Angola.
Mm-hmm.
That's what them young men go to. And they spend the rest of their life working out there on the white man farm out there. You get up at a certain time, and guess what? They getting paid double. They getting paid for you in prison. Now they're getting paid for you to go out there and work on their farm.
It's
But
just like the Jim Crow law. That's an enslavement camp to
it,
me.
that's exactly what it is
That's
down
the
here in
way.
Louisiana.
I mean, that's the way I analyze it to be. So that's just my personal opinion.
Well, I think that's a good opinion. And then the system turn around and say, well, let's look at these communities struggling. Why? But the struggle was it was manufactured. They know exactly what they was doing. It was
Mm-hmm.
manufactured. If I can keep you down low and keep you below poverty level, that is manufactured. Something that people don't understand. Whatever design, it is working the way it is working.
Well, it's a strategy, Clayton. And if you think of it this way, the money that could be spent for youth programs, job training, education, funded schools, instead is being poured into the prison. So they putting all the money because they banking it. Oh yeah, we're gonna get some people in prison this year.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
they banking off all that money to be poured into the prison system, Clayton, instead of
And
instead of helping the community with funding the schools and mental health things and youth programs. They got this money set aside for the prison system. It's like a business.
you're right.
It's a business. They're using the prison system as a business system where you stay at. They ain't worried about your unfunded schools and your low income communities. They ain't
That,
worried about no youth programs.
yep. Sheila, I mean, you couldn't have said it. They're not going to invest into all these youth program job training because they invest into the prison system. That's where the money's at. Hey, boy, it's just a matter of time. We're going to lock you up.
Yeah,
And
do they have? I ask you this: do they have after school youth programs there, centers and
yeah,
things? That,
yeah, they do, but some of them they don't cut back on since this new administration came into effect. And I'm gonna tell you something, Sheila. You know, and I know that is a generational trap.
mm-hmm.
People get trapped into this situation and not realizing that this is nothing but a trap. I mean, what do we need to base things on, Sheila, to make things come back? I mean, it's faith, justice, and responsibility.
That's it. Faith, justice, and responsibility, and knowing if you do your homework and educate the people on what's happening to Louisiana, the more you get educated, the more you can help eliminate, or not
Mm-hmm.
eliminate, but at least decrease some of this, because now it what it always comes back to. It becomes back to responsibility. It also comes back to faith, because the God we serve of restoration is not destruction, and
That's
God's
true.
chances is not a lifelong punishment.
You know what, Sheila? I'm gonna tell you something, girl. I should call you Reverend Sheila. I'm gonna have to say, Amen, Sister Sheila. Preach the gospel, girl. And if we believe in redemption, then we have to question the system that invests more in cages than in people. Those cages is locked behind the bars.
Mm-hmm.
Incarceration.
Let me ask you something, Clayton.
Mm-hmm.
If your community had that $1 billion, I mean, you just think of it. How could y'all use $1 billion for your own community instead of going to a prison system? Why is not nobody talking about that down there?
You know, they talk about it, but if you understand, racism is a very serious thing down here. And who controls everything down in Louisiana? You got the governor, you have all the lawyers and the police forces, and all these goon squads work together. So every time, these laws, okay, stop resisting. If you talk disrespecting the police, or these laws are into effect to get you into prison because they know how you're going to react. Well, assaulting a police officer, this is a felony. If you got a felony, you can't vote. Now, I want to ask you this one question. I know I'm getting a little heated. I don't know in Delaware, but if you got a felony, you can't vote.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that your damn president that running the country got 34 felonies and anything
Why
that
is he
gets?
my president?
Well, yeah. Well, I don't want to say well. Yeah, I guess we're going to. No, I said that wrong. And
Mm-hmm.
their president. Because the president that I know, he's for the people, not to put up the flags that I hate people because of race, religion, sex, and national origin. Sheila, this thing is people, more minorities are going to jail now than ever before.
Do
Because
you think it's a setup though, in some kind of
yes,
sense?
yes, it is.
Do
It
you
is.
think the police are in on getting these people in prison?
Yep. There is no doubt. They got these little one out there going to lie for the cops. You get out there, if they got something against you, if they want you bad enough, they're going to get some of your own people to come out there and lie against you. And I'm going to tell you, when we talk about it, snitches get stitches, don't act, don't tell. I'm telling you, it's a lot of blacks are afraid, but they rather go out and kill the white man. He rather turn the black man in just to satisfy the white man. This is what they call that slavery mentality. And if we fund hope the way we fund incarceration, man, things be totally different, Sheila. You said it right.
Well,
we did.
it's just I was appalled by how much money is spent on the prison system. It's just that just went over me, floored me. But
Sheila, if you ask the average person right now, they have no idea that part of their tax, the state, whatever, are going to the prison system. They don't know that.
I know, but I think this is a lesson for everybody to do their homework.
True.
And find out, why are you paying for taxes? Where's that tax money going?
You're right. You're right.
Everybody gets taxed. Well, we don't get taxed here, but where's that money going?
See, if nobody questioned it, that even work better.
If you don't follow, when you put these people in office and position and you don't know what they're doing with that money and they're supposed to be supporting the people,
and you're supposed to trust them,
you can't. You got to follow the money trail. If it was your money in your pocket, I mean, if it's more money for your pocket, wouldn't you think you follow it?
Yeah, I would think so.
I mean, family, we got to. I know we can't change this whole system like overnight, but like I said, we can educate ourselves.
Yes, we can. We
And
can.
we can vote for the right people. We need to vote because a lot of blacks say, no, I ain't voting. It ain't going to make no difference. It does make a difference.
It does make a difference.
Now you see why it makes a difference. And our ancestors had to fight for that right. And we're still fighting. But, we got to mentor these youths, Clayton.
You're right.
We got to mentor them. And if you mentor them, guess what that's going to prevent? It's going to prevent people from going to prison.
That's true. That is absolutely true.
We get to the youth, because a lot of them are youth that are going to jail. And if we stop that cycle some kind of way, that would eliminate them getting all that money. And then we got to advocate if they do go for fair sentencing. We got to stand in bunches, not one person, not one family. But we as a community, we got policies out there that are strictly written, Clayton, to harm the communities.
That's true.
But we got to educate ourselves and strategize and come together and not divide it so we can advocate for fair things.
And see, that's the main objective for the way that these the white national, white superior thing. As long as we keep you separated, we control you. But when we got people that stick together, it's hard to control. So when you said something just then, it struck a chord. How do we, as Black people, reach out to the Black community and be able to explain them the importance of them voting and get them out of that mindset and say, well, I ain't gonna go vote. It don't make no difference. But when the person that gets in that they don't like, I should have voted. One person can make a difference. It is critical time, Sheila, for all Black people of age to go out there and vote. Because the way that President Trump is set, they are setting up something right now to create havoc among the voting system. They already coming up saying something wrong with California, but there is no evidence. But this is a setup. It is to keep people separated.
That book, Project 2025, with Vice President Kamala Harris tried to tell us everything is in black and white. I have that book. And everything that's in that book is happening.
They didn't believe it.
This guy to study Black culture and the slavery. They trying to take us back there. This is a strategy to stop all Black people from advancing.
You're right.
So,
and like I said, that was part of the strategy. Like I said, he put everything in that 2025 project. But again, everybody thought it was a joke. Everybody thought that Kamala Harris, but you know what? Now everybody feeling the pain that they got, excuse my language, that con artist bullshitted America.
Well, she told everybody the truth.
Yeah.
But who listened?
But you know what? It's still, let's face it, it came down to a cultural thing. It came down to a race, the color of the skin. That has a factor. This is why we're dealing with today. And we can't just keep having these conversations, Sheila. And honestly, and unfortunately, it is necessary conversation. And because silence keeps the system straight. You cannot stay silent. I speak up for what I believe in because I'm not going to fall for a lot of this BS that these Republicans out here are selling. And my belief in what my Bible says, I fear not no man. I am your God. I am your Lord. Who do you put your faith in? Me or man? I am the same God yesterday. Today, I'm going to be the same God forever. Now, where is your trust in these white supremacists, white nationalists, these white churches? At the end, who are you going to report to? We thank you for bringing this subject up. People, Louisiana is notorious. It's right in your face down here. I mean, look at the restaurant. Look at all these big universities. Who making the money? You got black athletes. Who making all the money? All these black athletes. These white, racist people. And now is the time for us to wake up, educate, train, teach them. If you do this, this is going to happen. If you do that, that's going to happen. But they don't teach the laws to kids, which I think they should teach the laws to kids in school. Just basic laws. Put that scare tactic on. And I would recommend take them sometime to prison, or get some of the prisoners just come into the school, the one that is lifeless, and explain to the kid, you don't want to do, you don't want to be at where I'm at. You got to get these kids a scare card. But again, Sheila, we can say this, charity begins at home.
We are the book.
We are the book.
We are the book. The books.
Right, the books.
We have to keep teaching our youth history and educating them on what's going on now and why it matters.
Yeah, and if they understand, Sheila, and I'm going to say this again, if we as black people come together and work together and learn to live together, we can grow very fast. But unless we learn to communicate with each other, that's our biggest problem. Not being able to communicate, because when we don't communicate, that causes destruction, that causes violence.
But when you don't show up for a community
event right.
and meetings to discuss this, you're left out. They know you're not doing it.
You're right. You know, when you said something, you see all these town hall meetings that, it's open to the public. Mm-hmm. But most black people don't go to these town hall meetings.
So how can you help make decisions then if you don't stand up and let your voice be heard? Silent mouths do not get fed.
Exactly.
They might not like what you're saying, Clayton, but at least you had the nerve and guts to say it.
Look, I will say this. There's no telling you. They damn sure know who I am. When you mention the name Clayton, they know who I am. Because I said in those meetings, I didn't take a lot of crap. You got this one guy, he thought that he can bully me, and I walked out. I waited for him to come out. I said, if you ever say what you said again, you're going to be getting your ass off the floor. And those counselors came, hey, man, y'all knock it off. I said, I tell you what, nobody around but me and you. And just show you how once you allow a man to think you're afraid of him, I'm not the one. He kept apologizing, man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean no harm. But Sheila, let me get off the subject, but I just wanted you to be informed what we're dealing with. Last night, this white police officer, I don't know if you saw it, he cussed this black woman out, called her niggas and all this kind of stuff, and then he spit in her face. Beat her up. I mean, she had to go to the hospital, got all kind of. I'm going to say this. I mean to say it. What we talked about is real. But you got to stand up as a man and say, guess what? Fear not. I can't stand to see a white man beat no color, especially a black woman. I've never seen them beat up a white woman like that. But we supposed to be black men. We supposed to sit back and go into our shell, and we supposed to accept it. We supposed to go to the voting booth and vote for these same people, the one that's killing us. That's why I get upset. It's killing me every day to see these white men stopping these black people for no reason at all. Suspicious. You look suspicious. Let me get your ID card. For what? Let me get your ID card. What crime did I commit? The laws are set up for these white men to be able to do whatever they want to do and to use a form of intimidation in order to create havoc. And I'm telling you, we're talking about Louisiana, it's a lot of these red states. They operate on the same principle. You are black, do as we say, not as we do. We got a couple of tokens that we got in position will represent black. But at the end of the day, you're talking against the same people. I'm talking real talk. And I'm glad for you all that's out there didn't know nothing about Louisiana. Now is the time for you to educate and train your kids. This is the result when you go out here murdering, killing all these innocent people. Once you're being labeled, whatever trouble comes down, they're going to come looking for you because you already established a record. You are in the database. Sheila, I'm going to say this. I want to thank all the group for joining us today. This conversation matters. And we also want you to know that your voice matters. And if you don't speak up, hey, closed mouth never get fed.
I just want to say this. We as a Black community, we need to stop killing each other.
Exactly. Amen.
We can control that on what we can control. Sometimes you can't control things outside your circles, but you can control what you do.
Exactly.
We are a community. We need to come together to empower each other. We just don't want to sit here and talk about change. We got to build it, folks.
Exactly.
We got to build it. Action speaks louder than word. Love your neighbor.
Right.
Love your brother. Love your sister. I don't care how mad you get. It's not a sense to be shooting and killing each other. This is your turn to take matters and be responsible for your actions.
Sheila, that's real talk. And you can't wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow might be too late. And what we are saying to you, we need boots on the ground now. We can't wait. We can't wait until all of us many of us incarcerated. If you all that were listening to our podcast, look at the percentage of Black being incarcerated. Look how many billions of dollars being spent on the prisons. It's your money is paying for these prisons. And these white people are getting rich. It doesn't affect the wealthy. It affects the poor. So we want to thank you all for listening in. We hope that you'll share it. You make comments on, but we got something hot off the press. The next time we come on, we coming to y'all with real talk. If it didn't matter to us, we wouldn't be talking to us. Again, one vote, Black members, Black churches, all mental. Now is the time for you to talk about voting before November, because these clowns got a setup. The less they see you, the more they keep you deported. The less you show up at the voting booth, they try to use a form of intimidation. Do not allow that to stop, because your vote make a difference. But until next time, Sheila, I enjoyed this conversation, but we're gonna come up with a lot more in the future. You have anything you want to say?
2 words to the folks: show up.
Remember that. Show up and show out. Now is the time, and no time to wait. Thank you, Sheila. Until next time, may God bless you. May God keep you.